We see a couple other mentions of giants in the Bible. And I brought this up a few weeks ago. We don't believe in what's these days commonly known as the Nephilim. Even though it's just the Hebrew word for giants, we do believe that giants existed, they're real, and the Bible talks about them. But we don't have to add any air of mystery by calling them by a name in another language. Because that's what fools do. That's what people who are proud, or people who are just easily deceived and carried about with every wind of doctrine, that want to feel like they know something extra special, some hidden occult knowledge that you don't know, and go to extra biblical resources other than just looking at what the Bible actually says about these people who are the giants. They're giants in the land in those days, and we believe that. And they're not hybrids between human and angels and all this weird stuff, and they didn't grow to be, I forget how tall, how many hundred or thousands of feet tall, whatever. Remember when I brought that up, like the book of Enoch says, and the book of Jasher, and all these non-inspired books that are written of men claiming that these giants are so incredibly tall. That's not the way it was. But the Bible gives us examples. So in 1 Samuel 17, we have the example of Goliath. Goliath was a giant. Everyone knows this story. David and Goliath. Goliath was a Nephilim. He was a giant. But guess what? David didn't have to sling the stone 100 stories into the air to try to knock him out and kill him. Okay, that's not what happened. But the Bible actually gives us dimensions, so we don't even have to wonder about it. We don't have to question it. We don't have to go to the book of Enoch to figure out how big giants were, because the Bible tells us how big they were. 1 Samuel 17, verse number 4, the Bible says, "And there went out a champion out of the camp of the Philistines, named Goliath of Gath, whose height was 6 cubits and a span." So right there, it tells us how tall was Goliath. He's a giant. He's a man of war. He's not an infant. He's not a baby giant. I mean, he's a full-grown man giant. And his height is 6 cubits and a span. You say, yeah, but Pastor Berzins, I don't know what a cubit or a span is. It's actually very simple. A cubit is from your elbow to your fingers. Now, I know that we all are a little bit different size and shape, but in general, the standard would be roughly 18 inches, about 1.5 feet. That's a cubit, okay? And that's just, we're just going to use that number because, as we've done before, ultimately a few inches here or there isn't going to matter. 1 or 2 inches is not going to make some huge change in our calculation, because if he's 6 cubits, what's that going to be? 3, 6, 9 feet, right? 9 feet tall, and then a span. What's a span? A span is the distance from the tip of your thumb to the tip of your little finger. That would be a span. And these are older measurements that we don't use, but they've gone throughout time, and that is about 9 inches. That's kind of the standard that's used, okay? So Goliath was approximately 9 foot 9 inches tall. It's a tall guy. But is that really outside of the realm of possibility to even think that there could be a man that's 9 foot 9 inches tall today? No. Now, I don't remember, I didn't look it up. I've seen it multiple times, like the tallest recorded living man, and so like in modern history, and even the tallest person alive today. But I mean, people, even in our time, have grown over 8 feet tall. So we're talking 9 foot 9 inches, right? This isn't just this isn't 20 stories tall. Okay, this is a normal person, but someone who is a giant. Someone who is big. I'm 6'2", saying next to someone who's, 9 foot 9, that's pretty intimidating. That's not someone I want to get in a fight with. You're someone like, yeah, I could take that guy. And you walk in and you're like, see that giant? No. I don't want to fight you because everything about him is going to be a little bit bigger, right? He's going to have bigger arms, bigger hands, bigger muscles. Goliath was approximately 9 foot 9 inches tall. It's a big guy.